There is Tom Cillo from, Lycoming College on the screen. Tom, you're going to enjoy this because you'll remember this, but
okay.
This is Super Bowl champion Bill Cowher right before the first game that Tom was going to play. This is Bill Cowher's message to Tom just 3 weeks ago.
Tom, Bill Cowher, the story is absolutely amazing. I admire your passion, your determination, your commitment. Good luck today. I know it's September 6th, and I know that you're going to be out there on the football field. How much you played yet to be determined. But you have been an inspiration. When they say never too late, you're taking it to another level. Now, I wish you nothing but the best, and you are an inspiration. Love your passion, your determination. You're going to make an impact on a lot of people more than you think. Good luck, Tom. Stay healthy. Don't be afraid to get low and get down. Stay out of the house. You are 58. Good luck. One hit, get out of there, make a tackle. You can notch that one up, one each week. Maybe even two. But just take it easy. Protect yourself. Admire you. Good luck.
I know you can't hear me, but thanks, Coach. I love you, brother. That was pretty cool. That was powerful. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was from CBS Sports. Tom Cillo now joins us. David Smoak here on 365 Sports, Paul, and just got off the practice field. Tom, what has all the attention been like? Let's start with that because a lot of people are starting to understand and know your story.
Well, it's picking up steam. I'll say that. And, the good side of this is part of that attention. I have people literally from all over the world reaching out to me. Matter of fact, Saturday, I just had somebody from Bosnia send me a message and said, yes, we got wind of your story even over here. And he said, what an inspiration. And it was just, it was powerful. And I've had people from Australia, from England, Germany, Mexico, all over the United States. And, part of what I'm doing here, I'm not going to, shy away from this. I did want to inspire people, but let me tell you, it's reciprocal, man. It's coming back and then some. People are sending me messages every day, pictures, and I need that stuff too to help keep me going, and it motivates me. I appreciate all of it.
All right, so tell the story. I can do it in a quick, like in Cliff Notes. You were in high school. You did not play college football. You went through some things early in life, like a lot of people do. And then all of a sudden, this became an idea. And a friend of yours who's a part of the board of trustees, I believe, told Coach Clark about you. You met with him. So that's the story with Tom and where he is at Lycoming College and the football program. And it's an amazing story. We appreciate your time too.
Tom, I just have a question as a guy who played high school football 25 years ago. When I was 17, practice hurt. I was sore as hell. I'm 45 now, and I can't imagine doing it. And I know that you're in fantastic shape and you're a powerlifting guy, but you're 58. And football hurts, man. How you've been holding up over this, and how do you deal with the soreness? Because it's different when you're 17. It's over in like an hour.
The football hurts part, I will agree with you 100% on that. I've learned that really quickly. College football is for real. It is no joke, and it's something that's always been in the back of my mind for years. Might be an understatement. I would say decades. But I never really acted on it. But even prior to the contact with the trustee for Mark Sittler, he's a trustee for Lycoming College. But even months prior to that, I had discussions with a really good friend of mine, Dave Belomo, who also serves as my trainer. And I said, Dave, I have always wanted to do this. And I think I'm still in good enough physical shape to give this a shot. And boy, he might have been the impetus I needed, because he perked right up, and he became super excited. He was 100% encouraging, and he said, if you want to do it, give it a shot. Why not? And So the decision was made then, and we went to work, man. He started training me, and we were doing a lot of stretching, a lot of soft tissue work. You know, I love the weight. The weight room is a passion of mine, and it always will be. You know, if I had a doctor that said you can't lift weights anymore, I would find another doctor.
And you have been in the weight room a lot. The powerlifting and all that. This is you're a strong man. I know it's still bumps and bruises, whatever, but you have been in great shape.
Well, I appreciate that. And yeah, you know, at 58 years old, you don't just come to this decision and get off the sofa and say, I'm going to give this a try. You know, so I have maintained a certain level of fitness over the years, you know, to this point that a lot that went into my decision-making process. And like I said, Dave was so instrumental in that. And, you know, he put me through some pretty tough workouts, honestly. And, you know, got me ready, you know, for camp to come in as prepared as I possibly could. And, you know, and then I had reached out to Mark Sittler, he's a Lycoming grad. He played here in the 80s on some really good teams. They had phenomenal defenses. And I said, Mark, you know, I want to give this a shot. And so he made contact with the coach, and the coach contacted me. We had coffee. We had a discussion, and it didn't take long for Coach Clark to understand that I was very serious about this.
What has changed the most, even though you weren't playing when you decided you had things you were going through? What has changed the most, in your opinion, about football?
Probably the size of the dudes I'm going up against.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, when you say football hurts, yeah, it hurts. And they're working me at nose tackle. And truth be told, I'm about 220 pounds. You know, if I have a good pizza, I can bump that to 225. But I mean, pretty much across the board, you're going up against guys that are just about 300 pounds across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I may have some accomplishments in the weight room, but this is a whole different dynamic. You know, when you get a pair of dudes that weigh 280, 300, you know, double teaming you and hitting you from different angles, it's tough. It's tough.
You know, you started drinking at an early age, and you stopped, and you went through all that. How much did that like allow you maybe to open up like all these things and this desire that maybe you had kind of mashed down a little bit over the years?
Yeah, I was probably about, you know, I'll be, you know, quite frank. Yeah, I was 15 years old, and I started doing things that maybe teenagers do. I'm not endorsing it, but just that's the reality of the situation. I went down a different path that, honestly, I thought I was going to play college basketball. That was a dream of mine too when I was younger. So stay tuned on that one.
Yeah,
don't discount that. And but you know, all these years later, like I said, I maintained a level of fitness, and you know, I want part of my message too to resonate with young people that you know, I don't want them to go down the same path that I went down. So you know, I want this to be part of my journey, part of my message, and I'm going to dedicate myself to that.
Well, obviously, Coach Clark had to take you seriously when you met with him for a cup of coffee. How has he been, and how have the coaches been as you've tried to get yourself in a position to play? I think you guys have played 3 games and trying to get you on the field. You have to be patient, but you also understand what you're up against, as you've mentioned.
I totally understand what I'm up against. And, you know, I'm still a freshman. I'm still new to this, you know, and, you know, learning the playbook, trying to take the playbook and transfer it onto the field and making sure, you know, my stance is correct. I got the right gap covered. And there's a lot to take in 2 months' time. But the coaching staff has been phenomenal. And, I mean, as far as camp goes, I don't really have anything to compare it to. But I got to credit Coach Clark. He has been fantastic. I mean, it was high energy, no nonsense, and, you know, credit to him. And, you know, honestly, you know, I'm working. I can tell you I'm working, and I'm working hard. I just haven't done enough to get on the field to this point. I'm getting a lot of scout team reps, and to coach's credit, from day one, he never promised me that how this was going to play out. He said, just come in and go to work, and we'll see where it goes. And I appreciate him for that. And so I would love to see the field at some point. Absolutely. And I'm working my way to get there, and just to get through one college football practice, it's tough. And then you get through a week of practices, guys get hurt, guys get banged up at any age, and I know I'm at injury for risk, but again, it can happen at any age. So just getting through a week of practice and putting that uniform on game day, I've earned the right to do that. And whether I see the field or not, I hope that'll play out in the near future here.
How much advice do the younger players, I mean, they're all younger than you, but the players on the team come to you for, because this isn't like a guy coming back from playing minor league baseball who's 27. You're 58. You've lived life. You've got kids that are grown up and gotten married and all these things. What kind of relationship have you forged with those young guys? The
relationship is absolutely positively phenomenal, and it's getting better all the time. And I really mean that. I genuinely mean that. And as far as advice goes, maybe not a whole lot, but I'm just focused on building our relationship. And I've stated this before, that when I came in here, from day one, I didn't want somebody's respect given to me. I didn't want it handed to me. I wanted to come in here and earn it. That was my mindset. So I know guys were skeptical, understandably. I get it. And, but we came in and we had to do some testing in the weight room, and, I might've got their attention. They're like, okay, and then we had to do conditioning tests. And for the linemen, we had to go goal line to 15 and back within 6 seconds, doable, but we had to do it 16 times. We had to knock it out 16 times. And that was not an issue for me. And I've stated before, I'm not ashamed to say I smoked a number of dudes in the process. So after the weight room and after the conditioning, our relationship has just been getting better and better and better. And I've also shared this also. My youngest son, he's 21, recently competed in a Mr. Beast contest. And when I shared that with my teammates, their jaws dropped. I didn't know who Mr. Beast was at that time. I know now. But so this past Saturday, this contest aired on YouTube. And we had a watch party on campus, and it was absolutely epic. It was epic. It was a really good team building event too. And so to answer the question, yes, our relationship is great, and it's getting better all the time.
Tom, what will it be like if and when that moment occurs, when all of a sudden they say you're in?
I will look like Tyreek Hill or Usain Bolt sprinting out on that field. My cleats are going to be digging the turf up, and I can't wait for that moment. It's going to be exciting. And whenever it happens, but I am ready for it.
What was it, or was there any, you didn't play college football, so you have eligibility. I mean, again, like Paul mentioned, minor league baseball players come back and play. Was there any paperwork log jam or anything like that you had to deal with to enroll and also be cleared to play?
No log jam. And I joke that I had to go find a boarded up one-room schoolhouse to get my transcript. Obviously, that's not true, but I did have to do a little digging. I got my transcripts applied, and didn't really have too much of a pushback on that. And 2 thumbs up and credit to Lycoming College. They have been great throughout this entire process, and I can't thank them enough. I can't thank Coach Clark enough. And so, yeah, no pushback on the paperwork. Everything went pretty smooth.
You mentioned your son's 21. He's older than some of the guys you're playing with.
I think he's older than most of the guys I'm playing with.
Yeah.
My children are 32, 28, and 21.
What has been their reaction to what you're doing?
They're not surprised. They're not surprised. They know their father has a little bit of crazy in him. But I've stated before, whether you're 18 or 58, you got to have a little bit of crazy in you to step out on the football field, on a college football field. So I'm okay with that.
Question from Alan in the chat room. What if, in fact, you were given, I think it was Val, what would, in fact, if you were given a chance to have an NIL deal to promote a business or brand or something, what would that possibly be?
Oh, wow. I tell you what, ever since I was a little boy, and this is gospel, I have been wearing the black Converse Chuck Taylors since I was a kid. And I still wear them to this day. You can look at a lot of my social media, my powerlifting stuff. I absolutely love Chuck Taylors. And I'll wear them. I'll probably wear them to the day I die. I might even wear a pair in the casket. Maybe I'll put that request in.
We need to get a hold of them for that.
Yeah,
I would love that.
When I mentioned to somebody earlier this week that we're going to try to get you on the show, they brought up, oh, is he the guy in the movie? And as you know, there's a movie out called The Senior. Have you watched that?
I have not seen the movie. Recently, I did learn about that. And actually, they have reached out to me on Instagram and also via email with a possibility of trying to get myself and Mike Flint in the same room together. And I think that would be absolutely incredible. I would welcome that with open arms. And I mean, listen, the deeper I get into this and the more involved it gets, I have, Mike, I don't know if you're watching, but what an appreciation I have for you and what you went through. And, I think him and I would hit it off. I honestly believe that. And because we both have an idea what it takes to be here.
It was A. Steve that asked that question. Put your hands up on the screen because I saw you almost look like you're getting ready to go into a boxing match. You have your hands. Look at that.
Yeah.
Are those fingers broken or are they just?
Well, I'm pretty sure one is. And I've taken my lumps. I'm not ashamed to say, I've gotten knocked around and pushed back and pancaked a couple times, and you peel yourself off the turf and you get back up and you get ready for the next one. But I missed a couple practices earlier in camp with some bruised ribs. It's a tough racket, but you know what? I didn't walk into Staples and bang the easy button. I signed up for college football, and this is part of it. And I'm thrilled to be going on a journey with a group of guys all through camp and through an entire season and just go through the grind with them.
Well, it's a great story. Again, do you at times when you reflect back on what you've been through in life, what is that like to where you are now and what you've overcome?
I've had some, like most people, a lot of highs in life and definitely some low points. And at times I feel like I've tried to redefine rock bottom for myself, but, you can't stay down there. You got to get up, dust yourself off and keep on going. And, what a test training camp was. What a test, an absolute test. I mean, you're talking nearly 2 weeks of 12 to 14 hour days, 7 a.m. up till 9:30 p.m. And you're stacking them days one right after the other. And it's tough. Anybody who's been through it knows how tough it is. And, the younger dudes, just finding the day-to-day energy is tough. So take me and multiply that by about 3 or 4. And honestly, there were a couple, 2 to 3 times during camp that it's hot, it's super hot, and you're grinding and you're sweating and you're kind of in pain and you're wondering like, is this worth it? Can I make it? Can I make the cut? And I have a friend, Jeff Churba from high school. He had sent me a text prior to camp, and he just said, "Be unbreakable."
Oh yeah.
And I've taken that word unbreakable and I tucked it in my mind, and I had to reach for it a few times during camp. So just getting through camp was a win because it's tough.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if there was ever a day when you went to bed one night and thought you were going to probably call coach and say, "Hey, I'm done. I gave it a shot." But man, you are something else. One of the chat put me in coach when like that the movie or that song in baseball. A lot of people love your story and really appreciate you being a part of it. I hope that opportunity comes where they get you out, whether it's on a return team or coverage team or to play a snap at nose tackle. It's an inspiring story. And Tom, thank you very much for sharing it with us. And we might follow up with you a little bit later on. And to hear from somebody from Bosnia, Australia, and more, that's the kind of story it's been. Thank you very much for your time.
Do I have time to share one quick story?
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
All right. This might be my favorite one so far. Like I've said, a lot of people have inspired and motivated me, but I had a 73-year-old woman reach out to me, just sent a random message, said she loves to sing, and she wanted to join her church choir, but she didn't do it because she didn't want to be the oldest person in the choir. She saw my story. She was so motivated and inspired by what she saw that she decided to join her choir. And
That's awesome.
That stuff right there is just incredible. And I appreciate her and so many others that are reaching out to me with positive remarks and positive feedback. I can't be thankful enough, and I love it. I love them all. I appreciate it.
That's awesome, Tom. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, young man, and good luck the rest of the year. Tom Salo with us from Lycoming College and the football team. From Barry Crawford to wrap it up with this, thank you very much. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood. My salute to Tom.
Yeah,
there you go.
Great.
Gentlemen, thank you. Pleasure meeting each one of you. Thank you.
You too. That's, again, Tom Cillo with us on 365 Sports.